Go. Hello and welcome to the third episode of the MMS podcast. Today we have a special episode because it's team owner interview. So as you can see, it's in a booth. It's me, James, and the team bosses of Mercedes, Red Bull, Toro Rosso, and McLaren. Quite the extraordinary guests.
I like cocaine.
There we go.
Me too.
Right. So hello, Alex. Hello, Louis. Hello, Thomas, and hello, Raiko. How are you?
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Yes.
I think I introduced myself already.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Yes.
good. All right, so basically we'll interview the team owners, talking about how the season has gone and all that. Also, I want to introduce a new team owner of Virgin Racing, as Connor Polk has gone on vacation and hasn't returned since. The new team owner is James Smith, not associated with James in the booth, nor is he associated with James Smith, the current championship leader. I know,
Yes.
name coincidence. Anyways, so maybe first.
I'm just going to stop you there and just clarify that Connor Polk went to the grocery store to get some milk, and he's not come back.
Oh dear.
He went to
Oh,
get blue
dear.
cap milk and came back with red cap, and we haven't seen him since.
Anyway, no, he didn't
Oh,
die
the-
of coronavirus. Anyways, so maybe first question to current championship leader Louis Zage, obviously
Yes.
the Red Bull team owner. How would you rate both of your drivers so far this season?
Well, both of them have been splendid this season when it comes to racing. Luck hasn't been there in the full way. We've had a lot of incidents, mostly not our fault, I'd say. We've had a couple where we've just got caught up in it all, but 3 wins out of 6 races. Great start for us. Littlegren performed well. Smith leading the championship. What more can I ask for at the moment?
I mean, yeah. Now maybe your rival, Alex Turger, owner of McLaren. How do you feel about the championship so far? Any comments on the current situation on the previous race, maybe?
With the current situation, I think our situation is the opposite of Red Bull's, where we've had bad luck in the races more than outside with upgrading. Our upgrade path has been very good. In the races, we've just had mistakes from drivers, and yeah, it's been good, but obviously we're behind, and we should be ahead, I feel. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think your drivers and your team as a whole can catch up to Red Bull in the title fight?
the next couple of races will be crucial to that, but I believe we'll be able to maintain a decent challenge to them going forward.
Yeah. Now, question to the Mercedes team owner, Ranko Rijks. Obviously, your team had pretty much the most switches this whole season. Can you give us a reason, more thorough reason, to the departure of Tegan Skinner?
Well, it's just been poor performance, really. He had a decent start in Bahrain. I believe he got pole. Sorry, my bad. I believe she got the pole position in some race, and then in the races she's just bottled it. And I believe it was in Jerez where I just had none of it and yeeted her, out of the team, and got Carragher in place instead. So. Yeah, that's shit.
Yeah, and how do you feel of the performances from the Portuguese driver?
Carragher has been amazing so far. He's been on podium every race but the last one. I'd rather not go into it because we still haven't recovered from the debrief.
Oh
Yeah.
dear. All right, and now our last guest, Thomas McHugh. How do you see the future of this whole season being not only Red Bull's B team, but I think a strong contender for the top 5 in constructors?
Well, I'd like to say that we can do well. I'd very much hope that we can do well. But honestly, you can't really predict the future. We've not even got halfway yet. So, have we got halfway? I don't think we've got halfway.
No,
No, we haven't got halfway. Okay.
Serious.
But at the moment, I think we're
fucky,
6th in the constructors.
race.
So that's as much as we can ask for the time being. Renault seem quite competitive. I don't think we're going to catch Mercedes, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren as well. Ferrari might do if they slow down on development again, but you just never know. And we've got we're lucky to have 2 great drivers at the team. So
Interesting how you said Red Bull despite them being the senior team.
we're
Kidding. But yeah, I'd just like to mention Renault, because they have been a very, very big surprise this season. I mean, race 1, they were kind of in their place, but then from race 2 onwards, they've always been, I guess, outperforming that car. I mean, they almost had a double podium at Jerez, came within 1 position of it. So I'd just like your opinions on what do you think of Renault this season? What do you expect from them? And how do we contain them?
We forget.
Not now is not the time.
I don't know about Renault, honestly. They had a pretty rocky start to the season. But they have kind of picked it up a little bit with Rich Johnson. I believe he got a podium, and so they've been picking up on the development and everything. So
I mean, the results have been, tailing off a little bit, race by race, but they at one point were, I think, second even in the Constructors' Championship. They really are the surprise package so far.
Yes, they are.
A question to Louise, sorry to come in there.
Yeah.
You're obviously powered by Renault and you have your academy. So are you going to continue to stay with Renault engines, seeing how surprisingly good their car is, or are you planning a switch? And also, is your academy going to be a very huge thing in the world of MMS hosted championships, or is it only going to be in AFJ?
Mercedes engines are cheap.
In regards to the Renault situation, as you've seen earlier, Toro Rosso will be going to Honda next season. The plan around them is if Honda works out, we'll switch. If it doesn't, we're sticking with Renault because we don't want to just drop about 50 miles down the grid. But yeah, the plan is if Honda works, we'll switch, and then hopefully we can get some backing as a Honda factory team as well. In regards to our academy, it's going well. It's going well. Hopefully it can get big. We're doing extremely well in the junior side of everything, other than with Bishop. He wasn't exactly the greatest driver, to say the least, but yeah, he came in high hopes, so yeah.
Where did you get Hannah Eastwood from?
Well, just from Formula Renault Europe and stuff like that. Just good performances there for, you know what, why not?
Yeah, you don't usually find a good female driver on the grid. Mercedes. Anyways, speaking of Mercedes, how do you feel with Raikko? How do you feel about Timo de Jong's performance this season? Because there are briefings, so maybe a clear up on the situation.
He was championship leader at one point.
Yeah, I think with him, we've already discussed with Michal Valiak, who is the owner of Sauber.
Tomislav.
Yeah, we've discussed to maybe have a potential swap with De Jong into Sauber and possibly get Arons into the main team. But we've decided not to do it to the end of the season at least. De Jong hasn't been greatest in the last few races. Carragher has been up racing him. But I personally feel like there's more in the Dutch driver than he's showing at the moment. And we want to give him a chance to the end of the season.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
I also have a question in terms regarding the Mercedes drivers. Do they know their expectations? Do they know how strict everything is within the team? Because I think you're one of the few people, I think you might be the only owner who's really sacked a driver and is on the verge of sacking another one. Are they aware of your expectations?
Well, they know that basically there's no exact target position in a race where they have to finish. We kind of just go in a race weekend, see where the pace is, and we go from there. And when you're a driver, things will start going hot under your feet when you get outraced by a teammate by a long mile. Like the case has been with De Jong and Carragher.
Yeah. I mean, Carragher so far has been pretty outstanding. I mean, I don't know what happened at Magny-Cours. He spun himself out and then...
Magny-Cours...
And he still got points.
Magny-Cours was a weird race, and we don't really want to. Well, we had a debrief, and yep, I'm not gonna go into that. But
Yeah. James
Yeah, we're not
Smith
gonna
has
blame him on that.
James Smith has scored the most points in the last 3 races, and I believe Carragher is second, just behind him. And he had the 2 he got the pole in his first race and everything. You must be delighted with him.
yeah, Carragher has been decent so far, and we hope that in the future we can take him to the title.
I have a question for the McLaren team boss now, if he's there.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. So we get to Jerez. We had the aftermath of Jerez. Joseph Murray's just won 2 races on the trot, but one of your drivers crashed in the pit lane, and now we get to Magny-Cours. That driver who was winning races is now crashing out, and the driver who crashed in the pit lane is now getting the podiums. Is there some sort of imbalance between the team in terms of the drivers? Like, does it seem that half the time one of them does very well, and half the time the other does very well?
Yeah, that does seem to be the trend at the start of the season. We can't seem to string together a solid performance for both of them. But it's
And how
not
do you
a
plan
case
to
of,
solve this?
It's not a case of imbalance inside the team. It's just luck, like silly mistakes in places like Bahrain. You have Joseph Murray crashing into the back of someone, loses front wing, and that's just unfortunate. Jerez, Evelyn spins in the pits and takes out one of the Red Bull. It's not luck, that's her fault, but it's a case of,
And
we
then
believe we'll be able to finish strongly with both drivers eventually. It's just so far we haven't.
Yeah, and same question goes for Toro Rosso team boss, because initially Shane McHugh was very much on the front foot, and now it seems to be the other driver with a 6th and a 5th place finish. How do you plan to combat that?
I don't think I'm really. What happened to my English there? I don't think
Yes.
I'll really be combating it as such, because I'm quite happy with the way that both my drivers are going. Obviously, Shane hit the ground running, but now it seems to be Olivia who's actually picking up the pace after a slightly rocky start to the season. But just as long as they can, keep the pace up and get some more results, we've seen quite good when chaos ensues in races. So if we can just continue that, and hopefully we have a few more chaotic races, and we can score even more points. So yeah, let's just hope that we can. I'm just hoping that we can continue this strong form with both drivers in the future.
Yep. Obviously, next round 7, the San Marino Grand Prix on famous Imola circuit. So, what are your expectations? This is a question to all the team owners that are left.
I hope Red Bull fucking dies.
Oh, that's not very nice, but I agree.
Jesus Christ.
Bad language, man.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
Been
but
demonetized.
yes. So if Alex, you have started, so maybe carry on.
I mean, let's be real. It doesn't matter if it was monetized or demonetized. You're not getting any money in the
Can we
first
get
place.
back to the topic of the Imola San Marino Grand Prix?
I mean, if we qualify strongly, then it's a lot easier for us up front. We don't have to deal with the monkeys in the back, and yeah, I mean, hopefully,
Are you calling us monkeys?
yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Jesus Christ.
War.
I feel like
Anyway,
this has turned less into a conversation, more into a war of words.
yeah.
You put 3 or 4 team bosses.
Please. Okay. Now,
Guys,
Raiko,
already 6 races.
what are your expectations for round 7?
Sorry, what?
What are your expectations for the San Marino?
Wait,
Did you
It's
San
round
Marino-
6 already. What?
7.
Oh my god.
7?
Man. Yes.
Right. Okay. What race is it?
3.
San Marino
man.
Grand Prix.
San Marino.
How is
Oh,
this
it's Umbrella.
man?
I hope we're not gonna die. That's my only hope. I think we're third in the constructors' championship at the moment, and I hope we could just stay there. McLaren and what's the other team? Red
The
Bull.
Mercedes of the McLaren.
I don't think we're gonna catch them, and whoever is fourth at the moment, I just hope we're not gonna fall any more down, and just decent points. Maybe for De Jong to actually learn how to drive,
Toro Rosso's coming for you.
and for Garagel to keep
Jesus
going what they are,
Christ.
Yeah.
and Toro Rosso can jump and die in Tamburello, but
I mean, Toro also have just outscored you.
I mean, but that was
but-
Magny-Cours. That was
Magny-Cours, we had some data that the floor, the whatever it's
They got
called, the
the
gravel.
numbers
not
wrong.
gravel.
Anyways,
Yeah, we got the numbers wrong, yeah, but it's overheating and overpaid.
another
it was
question.
clearly the tyres. The tyres were gone on Mercedes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the tyres were doing, but they were
next season
delaminating
we are
right
switching to
centre.
Pirellis to maybe fix the issue that the Bridgestones
Oh,
had.
not.
Aren't
no.
we on Pirellis now? What year?
No, oh, for
We're on
goodness sake.
Bridgestones, mate.
Oh my god. When the team owner doesn't even know, one, the gender of his drivers, two, the tyres we use. Someone's got some reading to do.
I haven't done much,
One
okay.
fat
Anyways,
fucking Estonian.
I had
This is going to share.
Anyways, Raiko, your team is obviously supplying McLaren and Force India with the Mercedes engines. Is it going to change for season 4? Are you going to change the teams that you're going to supply, or is it going to stay put as it
He's
is?
going for helmet.
Alex, you shit, I want more money.
Drivers.
Excuse me, that's not very cheese money. of
You're
you.
underpaid at the moment. Sorry, we're underpaid at the moment. We need more money.
Shut up.
No. Well, okay, so basically the story is McLaren is a bit too quick for us at the moment, which means that we need more money, and if they want to keep using our engines,
Helmut
they're gonna pay
Marko,
more.
then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to keep going, keep them, as suppliers.
Hashtag Tellard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to keep them as a customer, but they have to pay more. Sorry.
I mean, yeah. And also, obviously, Sauber officially are partnered for season 4 or with
Yeah,
Mercedes.
they're probably gonna get their engine soon as well. We can't let them use the Ferraris.
Obviously, considering that it's 3 teams per engine, that concludes to Force India being booted from the Mercedes supply-ins, doesn't it?
You never know. Mercedes could be.
Wait,
booted
who
from
am I supplying at
Mercedes.
the moment? I've already forgotten. McLaren, Force
Oh
India.
my god.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I can put Sauber in there
Can't
as
be
well.
arsed.
It's fine.
Okay, well,
I have an excuse for not knowing which engine I have because I've literally just taken over the team. I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
You have
You
Koza.
I've got a different manager on the team. I'm sorry. I'm just a team boss.
okay.
Keep going, please.
Anyway,
Well,
I don't have a pressing question right now. Sorosny, do you have one?
Oh, well, not really, other than the performances of HRT. Are you scared of the Spanish-based team being an opposition
I'm
soon
scared
to
of
your...
Michael Teller.
Another team that outscored Mercedes last
He
race.
keeps out qualifying me.
And
It was Magny-Cours. We had some numbers wrong. Bono, my tires are dead. They died of coronavirus.
it literally just sounded like you said boner.
You literally said Dono.
Coronavirus.
Oh, you bozo. Anyway,
Ooh, banana.
to the actual question now. We'll start with whoever's calmest. I think that's McLaren team boss.
Yes, lads.
So, are you scared of HRT?
No, because they'll run out of money before they get competitive. I'm not even joking. I'd expect
think
the owner
Williams
of
is gonna run out
HRT to run
What
out of money.
HRT does.
Alright, Rekko, are you scared of HRT?
Sorry, how did you spell my name? How did
He's gonna wreck
you...
your
Also,
ass.
we still have HRT, what?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh, I
HRT,
did, yeah.
HRT, before sponsor payouts, is the 8th richest team on the grid.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna threat us. Yeah.
Mind you, Virgin is the 3rd richest team on the grid.
That's because they've been
excuse me?
Grade anything.
How is my finance? I don't know.
You're,
I've just inherited a bargain.
you're 10th, Frakes, but that's before sponsor payouts, so I wouldn't be worried. Anyways,
Grades is poor.
Right.
Escaped the RB. Louis has just posted on his Twitter page. I just escaped the Red Bull debrief and ate a steak and chips in like 10 minutes. New records.
You guys have Twitter pages?
Yes.
I mean, I
I'm
don't
missing out.
because social media bad, lol.
I'm missing out. Oh no.
And you're on Instagram.
Right.
Shut up.
James, do you
Chocolate
have a
bar.
question?
No. I do
Wow.
not have a question right now. I have to
Okay.
think of one.
I have a
I have
question.
a question.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
Alex. Ask him.
My question is to everyone: who do you think will win the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship?
No.
That was just
When
a
we
no.
finished eating, we can have the answer.
Yeah.
Why
So-
don't we start with Rakes?
Huh?
Oh my. Okay, why don't we start with Thomas?
I'm about to swallow my mic.
That's a good whisper.
For fuck's sake, somebody answer.
Wait, okay.
Okay, I can
Thomas, did you hear
answer.
the question?
I can answer. Don't worry.
30 years.
Can you repeat the question?
No.
I think it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a surprising answer, I think, because I'm voting for Marcus Littlegram to win the drivers' title and for Red Bull to win
Incorrect.
constructors. What do you mean I'm incorrect? I own this thing.
You are incorrect
Rum.
because you voted a Brexit. You have to support a British driver, otherwise you are.
P2. Okay, P2. Okay, I'm gonna give my top three. I'm gonna edit the question.
You've
P1
deported.
Marcus Littlegram. P2 James Smith. P3 Marco Carrigal.
How you?
Oh.
And just
Carrigal,
forget the
don't
plan
steal.
exists. You
Also-
are the worst Brexiteer.
Is anyone going to get demoted from a spot?
Caragor.
Oh yeah, that's a nice prediction. I think. I think.
How is this?
If you're in Mercedes, you're not safe. That's all I'm saying.
If you're in the Red Bull, you're also not safe. But that's the academy.
If you're too young, you're not safe.
If you're,
I have a question. I have
Yeah.
a question.
Yes.
Let me clear my throat 1 sec.
Oh,
I have a statement. Fuck the Dutch.
Gentlemen,
A short
short
view.
view back to the past.
oh,
30 years ago, Nicky Lauda told us take a trade
No,
monkey,
no,
place him
I'm
into
not-
the
I'm not-
cockpit, and use
I'm not
it.
gonna
Nicky Lauda's
tolerate.
dead.
I'm not gonna tolerate that.
Oi!
Hey,
I
can
was
we move
hoping it
on,
would
please?
take you like I was hoping it'd take you till you'd finished speaking for you to realise.
Can we like keep going now, please? Thank you.
Yes,
Alright.
let's keep going.
I
Okay.
hope he realises now what I've done to him.
Now,
What?
Alex,
Oh, for
I have a
Christ's
question for you. Considering that you have quite successful drivers in your academy in Formula J, are you going to set up a McLaren team in Formula J as a standalone team and put your academy drivers that are definitely successful into such team? Same question to every single team boss in this chat as well.
To answer your question, I think I'm gonna have to. Otherwise, Laura's gonna be without seat. So, there's your answer.
Now, Louis.
Yes.
How
Yes.
is this man?
What was the? Can you repeat the question?
Are you going to create
You
a
steak and
standalone?
chips eating cunt.
Are you going to create a standalone team for the Formula Junior, for Formula Junior series, basically separate from Dams and create a separate like Red Bull Junior team?
Right now, I think we're gonna stick with Dams just because they're used to Formula Junior. They know what they're doing down there. So if we stick with an experienced team, that will help us in the long run, I reckon. Rather than getting our own thing, plus if we work in collaboration with them, it's just gonna help both of us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. James, do you have any question? Because I have to go AFK.
No, I can answer the question based
Okay.
on what we want to do. Well, first of all, I'd like to rebrand Virgin as quickly as possible.
No, keep it Virgin.
I mean,
Virgin.
this
I would
this will be
like-
put. Okay, James, this will be put onto the FIA vote review. So
Okay, but that's my plan, and I would like to spread to FJ. Although I know we are a small team, so of course we have to build it up a little bit first.
Hey, James.
Walt.
If you want engines, we're cheap. Well, I'm gonna sack Alex.
guys, season 3 has
Big
season
guy.
3 has 4 engine suppliers per team because Cosworth.
Do they
Season-
get money? Does Mercedes would get a lot of money?
Mercedes
By
gets
Peyton.
half of the price for the engine.
I'll pass for now, Rakes. But thank you for the offer.
Anyways, so that's an interesting analysis. So what do you think, by the way, team owners? What do you think of the ownership change in the Virgin?
I'd just like to say if
Gonna have more money, please.
I'd like to say
me
if
think.
James
want your
rebrands
money.
Virgin, does Virgin lose its virginity?
Dad, it does. It does.
I mean, I know how it feels, so it's fine.
Oh.
Wait, I'm still a virgin.
Right.
Reiko rakes the sex slut.
Jim, we'll fix that.
Absolute
Chill,
anarchy.
Jesus Christ.
Demonetized.
Jim will fix it.
Okay, James, do you have a question?
No. Apart from, does anyone have some cocaine?
Jesus Christ.
I do. Can I ask my question?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Ah, yes.
I actually have a
Gentlemen.
question.
Can anyone, borrow me some money? I'm in trouble.
Nope.
Well, that's
I
a
mean,
shame.
yeah, I only fund new
actually have
teams.
a question.
Oh, damn.
Right. My question to you all is: do you
Will
want
they?
to go down Nando's for a cheeky Nando's?
Oh, for Christ's
Oh,
sake.
for the love of
no.
God, goodbye.
If you know, okay.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyways, another thing. Because season 4 will face minor changes to the
I
chassis.
was just
maybe.
inviting people to dinner. Fuck's sake.
Season 4 we will have a bit different cars. Obviously, some teams will have shark fins. How do you think the minor changes to the cars will affect your performance as a whole?
I mean, I'd like to keep the F duct on my car.
No, that's illegal.
As dangerous as possible. Let's go.
The F.
That's
I'm
illegal.
actually adding spindles to the sidewalls
Can I-
of my tires. So
Can
we're
I have
gonna,
DAS, please? Thank you.
we're
my
gonna
X-Wing.
give you all punches.
I would like an actual working curse system as well.
Give me an X-Wing.
Okay.
No, X-wings have
and I would
bad.
like
Give me an X-Wing.
I would like shark fins because I think they look very nice, except for when they're square. So it will be a nice modern look on it.
Announcement time. We're putting a cock nose on our 2011
for
challenge.
No.
That's against the regulations. If you read the rule book, I think that's against the regulations.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
against
rule
the
If it's
regulation.
not, I highly suggest it's added.
There's a rule book.
I mean, the rulebook is in the works because people don't really bother to help me with it.
You're a cunt, and I hate you.
I love you too, Alex. Anyways, do we have any more questions?
Can I have money, please?
No,
Can I ram a dick up your bum?
I mean,
no, because I have
Rakes, I'll
standards.
talk to you
Alex.
later about engines.
my
know what,
time
guys,
is
I've
not expensive. Sorry, my time is not cheap, and
We already paid you.
I'm
Right.
putting Dog is Dead on my car.
Oh my god. All right. Thanks for coming, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of podcast
Fuck
with
you.
drunk team owners and and
Dick
big
Freak
number of
Thatcher.
people. So yeah,
Dick
I hope
Trickle.
you enjoyed it. See you next time. Make sure to be safe on the roads, wear your seatbelt, never drink and drive, and have fun.
Imagine having a seatbelt.
We
Imagine
apologize.
having
not have
a
seatbelts?
car.
We apologize.
Oh, yeah, I've been muted out.
We I can't say it if it's not on the
I
stream.
apologise for Dick Trickle.
Oh, people are getting their roles removed today.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Oh,
We
no,
apologise for a
not
severe
that.
lack of maturity within our group
Why do
call.
you need
Oh
to
my god,
apologise?
who did that?
For you, lad.
Someone's getting fired today. Anyways, thank you for coming. See you next time, and bye-bye.
Especially you're gay.
I know I am.
Who server muted him?